So KULR Stock is a little known space company that is building battery systems and carbon composite materials to optimize the efficiency of batteries and tech while extreme temperatures kick in from space. Let's jump into it. One of the things that I want you guys to realize is this is a stock that just recently started to consolidate at a key level. Now we've seen it spike, started covering it back here in late November around $1 a share, and it's gone up to $5.60, sold down from that point, that 560, and KULR stock is now at $1.12. So we can see that it's recently sold down and now it's just consolidating from left to right. Let's see how long this consolidation has been. If we zoom out a little bit, looks like it is March 3rd is when it entered the consolidation. So it's been 1 week of consolidating from left to right. You can see this pattern that's starting to develop from left to right. The RSI in the MACD are indicating more of a buy just through this pattern, but the RSI and the MACD are just two indicators. The other thing that we look at is the SMA and the EMA, which are showing signs of bearish momentum. See this EMA, it's kind of breaking above that EMA, and then the 200-day moving average, that SMA, it's still below that. And oftentimes it will act as a resistance if we're bearish. If we're bullish, we might see the opposite. But right now, it's looking like it's having some momentum issues, but it is consolidating from left to right now. The market of space battery tech is expected to grow to $7 to $15 billion over the next 5 years. This is a company that is way smaller than that, but is getting their hand into the cookie jar. We want to say that. The revenue that they're seeing is just about 3.2 million per quarter, actually increasing a little bit year over year. They reported their quarter 3, not quarter 4 just yet. Year over year, the revenue's at 3.2 million, net income negative 2 million. They're up in the year over year categories, green in almost every category. Last 2 quarters, they met or exceeded their earnings per share and revenue. So when we look at kind of a bigger picture on KULR stock, you might look at the technicals and say, looks pretty bearish. Maybe if we see it break out of this consolidation and it's not just, maybe something similar to this. We saw a big sell-off and then KULR stock started to consolidate from left to right for a week here, and then it spiked up to 260. And last time it did that, it was a margin of profit if you were in that trade of about 30%. So I'm not saying that it's going to do that, but those are the types of moves that we could see take place. And when we're starting to see maybe some consolidation here and a slowdown of that 200-day moving average to possibly see a reversal, that's something you got to watch closely. Now, the stock is down at $1.12. That hurts. I have some KULR positions. We've seen it, go. Obviously, we covered it at $1, but those gains of going up to $5.50 have mostly been kind of wiped out. And now that we're down here, there's some potential drag downs from the broader market. You can see broader market is in the red today. You got TSLS or NVDQ really in the green, but wait, those are the inverse of Nvidia and Tesla, so nothing too big there. T-Mobile was up, which is interesting. They've been doing good after that Starlink partnership. But anyway, when we look at KULR's overall picture, one of the things you have to consider is their tech and their partnerships. We know that a lot of government spending is going to kind of go away in a lot of industries. But one of the industries that won't really be heavily touched is related to the space industry. The space industry, we got NASA, Molicel, Lockheed Martin, Department of Transportation, and Federal Aviation Administration as their partners. Now, when we look at their news, I don't see any new news in the past month. The only thing that we know that's really kind of added some fuel to the fire of this stock selling off a little bit is their Bitcoin holding. I don't know if you've seen the interview, but their CEO talked with Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy. And essentially after talking with him, invested 90% of their surplus cash into Bitcoin. Now, after the move literally happened in late December. Like I can go back and we can actually look at the news and see exactly when that happened. Let's take a look. They expanded in February. If you go back to the first, there's the $42 million, $21 million. December 26th, they decided to start pooling and building a Bitcoin treasury on December 26th. Now, here's what happened. Where were they at December 26th? They were at literally $5 a share. December 26th. After this move, they had one more day where they pushed up. And ever since they made that move, it has sold off tremendously. Now, if you go to Bitcoin, it looks about the same. Now, it's not correlated by any means because obviously there's other factors that investors consider when they're investing into KULR stock, and it's not going to be tied perfectly to Bitcoin's price. But when you look at Bitcoin, December 26, it was at 100,000. And now it's at 78,000. And their average purchase price is about 98,000. So, what does that mean? It means that they've lost, let's just do some math here. Basically 78 divided by 98, they've lost 21% of all their cash that they put in Bitcoin. Now, how much money did they put into Bitcoin? Well, if you go and you follow the articles, you can see they have 610 Bitcoin. They added an additional Bitcoin. Now, look, I'm not bagging the move. I think long term this could be good, but it's absolutely it's a volatile dynamic, yes, but borderline extremely risky for shareholder sentiment, yes, absolutely. And so you look at their holdings, they lost 21% on 60 million. 60 million, let's just run that on the calculator, times 0.79 is what they have. They've lost about $12.6 million. Not lost, but they have unrealized loss. They haven't sold Bitcoin. Now, when we get back into the stock, I love some of their tech. It's great. But when you look at that move, now where their stock is, and Bitcoin can bounce. We know that. Bitcoin can bounce. But they are in this position now where they've lost, again, $12.6 million. And when we were taking a look at their financials, 12.6 million is more than their entire revenue that they made for the whole year of 2024. Well, we don't know about quarter four, but we're expecting to see, on average, they're making about 2.5 million per quarter, which comes out to 10 million a year, which they just have an unrealized loss of 12.6 million. So that brings their net income down. Basically, if their net income was already down -5 million in that quarter, -2, so probably -3 million on average, now they're about -7.5 million per quarter by going through that move. Now, look, I like that they're thinking futuristic, but they had to have more of a strategy unless they just want to become a stock that people can't take seriously because of these moves. I don't know, like if he's making this move, Michael Moe, based on the advice or consultation of Michael Saylor. Now, Michael Saylor maybe has some extreme, not even maybe, he has extreme maximalist view on Bitcoin. He says any money that you don't want to lose, put into Bitcoin. Like, in other words, the dollar is going to lose a lot of value, buy Bitcoin, because that's how you don't lose the value of your money, essentially. That's his view. And not only that, Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy, when they have their stock increase in price, they sell shares of their stock in order to go buy Bitcoin. So they own less and less of their company, their shares get diluted, and it's not, in my eyes, at least for the stockholder, maybe for the company if they want to just hold Bitcoin, but for the stockholder, it's not a good way. It's not a good position. It's not a good story for the stockholder of the company, because most investors buy KULR stock because of their space tech, their batteries, their KULR Vibe, their partnerships with Navy and Department of Transportation and NASA. That's why people buy KULR stock. But they're not buying KULR stock to invest in Bitcoin. So 90% of cash, that's going to hit the stock. Anyway, what we see for the technicals moving forward, I still believe we could see some nice trades on KULR stock. Of course, it's bearish and it might even get rejected here at 114. If we see it recover, it's a 20% swing on this consolidation zone that maybe we play at a market open if we see a exaggerated dip and it makes sense that we see it confirm it's going to bounce at that support, we start to see it maybe recover. Then if that opportunity presents itself, we would trade KULR stock at market open. Now, if you guys want to be there, it's the second link in the description to join us and watch us trade live each day, Monday through Friday. That's StockMate. Would love to have you there. I don't know that it would be our number one choice to trade KULR. There's a lot of other stocks that we would pick first in this moment, but I need an update. I want to hear what the CEO has to say after seeing Bitcoin drop to $78,000 from the average purchase price of about $99,000 for KULR. So we got it. I want an update on that. I want to see what's going on there. Leave your comments in the description below. Do you think I'm like being too hard on KULR? Or do you think that this is reasonable given the decisions that were made with their finances? What do you guys think? I like the move for long term, but it's absolutely, especially in this market, going to crush your stock in the short term. So I don't think they should have done 90% of surplus cash. 25%, sure. 90%. In this time, the US dollar is actually getting a little bit stronger at this moment. So it's not a good time to be holding on things other than cash, actually. And the only way that you're going to grow your portfolio fast is if you are getting in at the right time with some of the right tech that's growing in 2025. And I think the best investment that they could have made with that 90% of surplus cash would have been into their own tech. And I'm not upset. I'm just passionate. Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you all. Again, we're going live tomorrow morning if you want to be there. See you guys in the next video. If I earned your thumbs up, hit the like button. Do consider subscribing. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.